The Veronicas, Secret Life of 12 tracks, 42 minutes, the debut album from the Australian pop rock band, released October 2005 via Sire and London Records. This album has no less than 11 producer credits. And a few of those are Canadian. 5 singles were released in Forever, Everything I'm Not, When It Falls Apart, Revolution, and Leave Me Alone. This album went to number 3 in the US, number 2 in Australia, while doing relatively well in Europe and New Zealand. It has been certified 4 times platinum in Australia and gold in New Zealand, and spent over a year in the ARIA charts without ever falling out of the top 40.
Jesus.
Brendan.
When a band's playing the NRL Grand Final before their first album has even come out, you know there's a really big machine pushing this thing along.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it worked.
And 11 producers would probably be testament to that, I imagine. This is pop rock dipped in honey, which is okay, but they went a little bit heavy on the auto-tune on the vocal for mine. It really fucking wound me up. This is normally a million miles away from the kind of thing I'd normally listen to. It didn't make me jump out the window, but it's pretty disposable stuff. There's nothing really original or edgy to speak of. There was no sort of substance. It was bubblegum pop rock delivered okay. It knows its audience and it's aiming directly at it, and obviously hit it, which is probably a pretty good thing. It starts pretty strong, I thought, but it fizzled out pretty quickly, and by sort of track 5 I was really starting to tune out. If you want to be a pop princess, this is probably the blueprint, and it's been done before and it'll probably be done again. Okay, but nothing great. If you're a metalhead, don't. I'll give it 4 out of 10 if I'm feeling generous. Highlights Everything I'm Not, and I actually kind of like the cover of Mother Mother, which it seemed an odd one to throw in there. But
didn't like that one.
I didn't mind it, but yeah, there you go.
In a strange way, I actually somewhat enjoyed this. Did
it make you feel dirty like our clip show?
A little bit. The Veronicas do tend to do that. What Wayne is doing.
Wayne Kerr.
To be honest, I actually didn't realise how many hits this album had, and listening through it, it was just like, I've heard this one before, I've heard this one, I haven't the whole way through. It does tail off at the end, but again, it's a pop album, we're expected to do that. In a weird way, and how I actually grew to enjoy this was somehow, and I don't know how, but it reminded me a little bit of Jack Off Jill.
Okay.
A very G-rated Jack Off Jill and poppy Jack Off Jill, but I thought they had a kind of the style of vocals with the cadence of which they sung was a little bit similar, and their tone was a little bit similar. So from that level, I kind of found myself liking it more than I had any right to. The plus side is as well, it's a pop album, so even though it does tail off, it is relatively short, and all the songs are really short, so like it's over quite quickly. It's not like Limp Bizkit where it goes for 74 minutes. Granted, I did like Limp Bizkit. But yeah, overall, I thought this was pretty good, and I'll give it a 7.
Wow. Okay.
Similar to Tim, a lot of these songs I actually recognise, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's this band. That's who those songs were by. But yeah, it's good for what it is, but it really does not appeal to me. I guess you have to be a teenage girl. 5 out of 10, neutral, no standouts.
Jesus, that was short and sharp. Fucking hell.
Dave. Wow.
All right. Now, it's nice to note that quite a few of the songs have writing credits attributed to the twin girls, so you've got to give credit. Now, that you can take it with a grain of salt as much as you like, but at least they've got writing credits attached to them. So it's not just a whole get a bunch of producers, get a bunch of songwriters, and that's it. They actually have something to do with the process. It opens up with the song that I think they're best known for. I remember that being flogged to death. I didn't hate the song when it came out, but the video just killed it for me. It was just so over the top and meant to be for that. It was so targeted, it was obvious, and it put me off watching it, and I didn't really care. I had a big pet hate at that point in time when it came out for the manufactured artists, and I lumped them straight in with that, and I went, I'm never going near this ever again. I was very surprised to find that Rain Maida and his wife were involved in this, and Rain Maida, for those who don't know, is the main guy in Our Lady Peace from Canada, which is a band I've loved and followed for a long, long time. With these sorts of groups, with the professional musicians and that, there's always talent in there. You can't deny talent, performances, and all that sort of stuff. That they always put together faultless musicians around the centerpiece. It's a very professional production in that regard. Everyone nails their parts nicely. The one thing that irks me on this. Like, I think the girls can actually sing. Maybe the auto-tune thing was out. I think overall they can sing. They can hold their notes. They're not terrible at all. They're pretty good. But they have this thing where they fence sit when it comes to what accent to perform in on this album. And when they're... One sentence is American accent, one sentence is, almost bogan Australian accent. And it's like, nah, fucking pick a side and just go with it. Like, don't half-ass it. Don't go halfway. Don't try and please both sides of the coin. Just fucking go one way and own it. Like, that fucking shits me. The composition is typically meant for the American market, which obviously worked with the success it had. You get heaps of energy, the fun, simple ballads, all that sort of stuff. The song structures aren't overly complicated. It's just hooks that ensure the earworm effect takes hold with these sorts of songs. But overall, it does the job it's supposed to do very, very well. There are some different moments on this that I didn't expect. There's more to it. Some deeper stuff musically to get sort of stuck into, I found for myself. The lyrics are what you expect, very pop-sensitive, very catchy. Nothing really groundbreaking in that regard, nothing too deep. Just enough emotion to give it a little bit of soul and just enough sass to give it some empowerment. Nothing too much more beyond the surface than that. It's perfect for radio in that regard, though. It's very safe, very modern, all that sort of stuff. There's a bit of cheek there, though, which is fun if you pay attention to it. Production is glossy, as you expect. They did keep a bit of grit in there, though. They didn't clean it right the fuck up. They left a little bit in there, which is pretty good. No ear candy or tricks, just straightforward plug-and-play kind of stuff. But it's nicely captured, well presented, with some nice tones, particularly on the guitar and the bass. I thought that was good. The drums sound nice and full. They have that sort of pop snap to them as well. And the layering of the vocal and the harmonies was done well to it. Like I said, it's perfect for radio. The little effects that go hand in hand with this genre are there for the pop rock style. They're done very well. Little touches of synth and all that sort of stuff is in there. They don't overpower the songs, and in a lot of respects, whilst you mentioned autotune, I think the synth work actually sort of complemented the vocal and allowed it to sort of give it some room for that to come through and not be blindly obvious to the consumer out there. Track order was interesting. That majority of the singles are right at the start of the album. I didn't know that was the best move to make when it comes to listening. I get it from the commercial standpoint. You want to make sure you see the top 5 songs of the songs you know from the fucking radio, so you're going to buy the album because you're getting all the singles in one hit. But from a listening point of view, I don't think that was the best way forward. It'd be better to space them out better. The cover of Mother wasn't required, and it felt just disingenuous to me. It felt like some sort of weird attempt to gain credibility in rock circles and just rubbed me the wrong way. While it's performed okay, the raw aggression was missing, and you can just feel this is a cover. And while they might like the song personally, they didn't convey it right. It just didn't come off with... The screaming and carrying on that goes with the song just had no actual soul to it. It was just done by the numbers. But all in all, this is more than I was expecting it to be. And it may end up going back to this one very occasionally. Not high on the list, but if someone else puts it on, I probably will appreciate it a lot more than I would have done 10, 15 years ago. 7.5 out of 10, heavily broken, mouth shut, speechless, leave me alone, and revolution. Nikki, defend your choice.
All right then. I don't know if I succeeded or failed because no one put it in the bin, so I don't know if that's winning or losing. Have to agree with what you guys said. It probably peaks a bit early. The first 5 or 6 songs are really good. Then it kind of tapers off, but then to me it comes back at the end. What I love about this band is it is catchy. It is that earworm effect. Like, you can't not bop along to these songs. They feel good songs. And surprisingly, if you read the lyrics to some of the songs, they are quite deep and relatable. I think...
I didn't feel inclined to go and do that while listening to it.
They might be pitching it at 15-year-old girls, but if you actually listen to the words, they're actually quite like, yeah, rightio.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I like it. I like that this is a pop band with a guitar in it. I like that the guitar actually gets a bit of a...
So Savage Garden.
I love Savage Garden too.
Looking at everyone else down the table though.
And the other thing I do love is I think the girls do an amazing job of when to harmonise and then when to just go solo. I love that. So clearly, I love the album. I wouldn't give it a 10. I don't love it quite that much. I really just wanted to piss you guys off, which I kind of failed at. I would give it an 8.
You succeeded.
Okay. What did you give it?
I was neutral because
5. You couldn't even.
There's no bin.
It's not bad enough to be. It's not fucking Limp Bizkit, but it's just not for me.
Maybe they're featuring Fred Durst track.
Who knows? Who knows what'll happen next? Anyway, check it out for yourselves out there, folks, and let us know what you think. All right,
Veronicas
Dark Throne.
Fred
All right, I'm heading
He
off.
couldn't please them anyway.
Thank you, boys. That was just rather...
Got another one later on.
Yeah, I'm good. Size Nick.
Pearl.